Hello, and how are you? I am still adjusting to the right light. I'll get this down one of these days. I promise there's nothing wrong with your screen. It is me learning how to adjust my position in this room so that I'm not doing the whole Phantom of the Opera, half my face is masked kind of thing. Regardless, I'm excited to be here. I am thrilled with this time change. Now, I realize not everybody feels the same way. That's okay. You're entitled to be wrong. I mean, different. But if you like longer days, type that in the comments for me. Longer days. If you like shorter days, I respect you, and you're welcome to type in that as well. But whatever kind of day you like, I'm glad you're choosing to spend part of your day today with me. I am Daphne Smith with Well Done Life. And something else I would ask for you to do is let me know where you're from. Where are you watching this from? So maybe you're going to type in you're at work. It's okay. Shh, I won't tell anybody. Maybe you're at home. Maybe you're going to type in like your geographical location. I know that I've come to you sometimes from the state that I live in, Arkansas, but various cities. A couple weeks ago, I was in Chicago and I broadcast from there. So I'd love to know where you are as you are watching this presentation, if you will, whether it be live or replay. Tell me where you're from. And remember to be sure to type in the comments longer days or shorter days, whichever you prefer. I want to start out with a little bit of gratitude today, like I always do. And I was so excited about this. I really want to focus on for a couple of moments about the domino effect, okay? And several years ago, there was a movie that Ashton Kutcher starred in. Sorry, I got new teeth today. And so I'm kind of tripping over myself. There was a movie called The Butterfly Effect, and it was a psychological thriller and talked about how one event could possibly have kind of like that ripple effect or a domino effect. And so what I want to do is I want to give a shout out to somebody who I don't even know if they are on Facebook, if they will ever see this shout out. That's okay. That's not the point, is to get recognition for me. It's to give them recognition. So I'm going to say it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I think it was. Maybe 19, but a long time. And there's a gal who literally had a part in my life then that has carried all the way through to today. And I have no idea, excuse me, how much farther that is going to carry on and even how broad it is going to expand. Let me tell you who I'm talking about. While I take a sip of water. I don't know why I always get dry. Excuse me. So I want to give a shout out to Gail Bernard, excuse me, with Mary Kay Cosmetics. Gail Bernard did what is known as a warm chatter. She went up to my mom in the grocery store. It was in Kroger in Carrollton, Texas. And she asked my mom if she would be interested in being a model for her before and after portfolio. So my mom said, sure. And she invited me. And I fell in love with the product. My grandmother had been using it for decades already. And so I signed up to join Mary Kay. Now, today I am not with Mary Kay. Along the way, however, I did earn 3 cars. I became a senior director. I got to experience opportunities that I never would have outside of Mary Kay. And while this isn't a Mary Kay promo, I do know that I can take all of this back to Gail Bernard and Mary Kay Cosmetics, because when we moved from Texas to Arkansas, I plugged into the Mary Kay community up here. From that plug-in, and a gal named Susan Gleghorn, I can't pronounce your maiden name, Susan, or I would say it, but I know it starts with a W, and it's like Weinerheimer Minor. But I love you. She introduced me to a gal named Sarah Priest. Sarah Priest introduced me to the idea of the John Maxwell certification. The John Maxwell certification took me to an event in Orlando where I met Carla Andrews, who introduced me to Carrie Oberbrunner. And as of today, we are less than 30 days away from my very first book ever being published, where my name is the only name on the spine. I've been able to collaborate with several other books that have been published, but this book is going to have mine on the spine. And I can trace that event all the way back to having met Gail Bernard. So I share that little bit of a long story with you to let you know, you never know the impact that something you do or say can have on someone that can truly last decades and impact countless numbers of people along the way. So whatever you do, whatever it is as far as a career or a hobby, maybe it's a gifting where you want to share it with someone else, you want to encourage someone else, you want to extend a kind word or a hand to someone, do it. Because that domino effect can last endlessly. So Gail, thank you. Thank you for walking up to my mom in Kroger and asking if she wanted a free facial. It really kind of also ties back into what I want to talk about today. So my question is, how do you know if you are really ready for change? Change is one of those things that most people dread. I still have not to this day, myself included, met the person who jumps up out of bed or even, maybe kind of slowly rolls or crawls out and says, hey, hope I have some change today. That is just not by my human nature or any humans I know, kind of on the top of our list of things we anticipate. Yet, it's something that people talk about all the time. I mean, let's revisit January, right? And New Year's and resolutions and even a new semester at school or a promotion at work. All of these things represent changes, right? A move, a relationship, becoming a parent, adopting a pet. So all of these things will change our life. There are sometimes in our lives changes that we say we want to make, or perhaps somebody, a physician, a trusted friend or counselor has told us we need to make. So I'm talking about those types of changes today. The types of changes where maybe we talk about them, and we talk about them, and we talk about them, and I really wish this would change. I really wish that would change. Talk is cheap. It's the truth, and it's harsh. It is what it is. Talk is cheap. People can talk about change all day long, myself included. Okay, so I'm not pointing at you. If I'm doing double, I got 6 fingers pointing back at me. But I get it. I've talked about things for a long time and a bunch of times and never took any action because talk is cheap. But how do you know when you're really, really ready for change? I'm thinking of some examples like getting healthy with your body, okay? So when it comes to, let's say your jeans get uncomfortable, you always go buy a bigger size. Hey, why not? Or go leggings, put elastic on, and then you don't really have to change. You can keep maintaining those habits. What about debt? Is your debt too large? Are your credit card payments too big? Well, you just go open another one and make smaller payments on that one, right? What about a relationship? Is the relationship that you're in toxic? So how do you know that you are really, really ready for change? I'm going to tell you right now. Are you ready? You know that you are really ready for change when the pain of remaining the same is greater than the pain of change. Let that kind of sink in for a minute. You know that you are really ready for change when the pain of remaining the same, when the pain of dealing with that toxic person one more minute, when stressing over finances one more second, when you got to undo the top button on your pants one more time because you overate, when the pain of remaining the same is greater than the pain of change, that's how and when you know that you are really ready for change. Another way you could look at it is substitute the word fear for the word pain. When the fear of staying the same is greater than the fear of change, then you are ready for change. Does that make sense? I hope so. And I hope that you are ready for change. And if you are, I would love to see you type in the comments simply the word ready. In fact, put an exclamation point with it for emphasis. If you know that you know that you know that you are ready for change, if staying the same one more minute drives you to a place where you just want to throw your hands up, then you are ready. And I want to support that. So be bold, be brave, type it in the comments if you are ready for change. You don't have to tell us what it is if you don't want to, but I promise I will celebrate with you if you type that in. Now, with that celebration comes a but, a big but. And here's what that but is. But when you decide you're ready for change, be cautious, be careful of two things. When you are ready for change and you make the change, the people around you who are comfortable with the way things are aren't going to like it. And you know what? That's okay. I give you full permission to make them uncomfortable for your personal benefit. Okay? They don't want you to change because they're happy with the way things are. And you know what? They can get over it because you don't need to stay stuck. So that's the first but once you make your decision to change. The second but is so often when people, myself included, okay, I promise I never teach or talk about things in theory. This is all from the blood and the mud. I've gone through all this, I promise. When you decide that you're ready for change, often people will make a 180, okay? So they go from, I go to bed at midnight and I want to start going to bed at 10 o'clock, and boom, they just automatically cut 2 hours out of their day. I'm here to tell you, they are 90% guaranteed failure. That big of a change, all of a sudden overnight, probably isn't going to stick. Pretty darn sure it won't. So what I want you to consider is changing by degree. So if you're going to bed at midnight and you want to start going to bed at 10, how about going to bed at 11:45? It's 15 minutes. So no big deal. And then a couple nights later, you go to bed at 11:30. You do that a couple nights. Maybe even you up until 11 the next time. But what I hear and what I see and what I've personally experienced is, I'm going to start working out because I want to get healthy and I want to buy smaller pants and the bikini weather's coming up. And I'm going to work out 7 days a week and I'm never going to eat another gram of fat. Like, really? Come on. 7 days a week. If you miss one day, you've ruined it. And then it's easy to lose momentum and beat yourself up and fall into the trap of it's never going to change. But you know what? It is going to change. Because why? You're ready. You typed ready in the comments. You put an exclamation point with it. And you're going to do it intentionally and slowly. And that's how it's going to stick. So if you are really ready and you know 1 degree of change that you can make, type that in the comments. Type the word degree into the comments and let me know what that degree is. In fact, I'm going to be so bold. I'm going to offer my services to you. And if you don't know what that degree needs to be, I am more than happy to give you a suggestion. What you're welcome and invited to do is type what change you want to make into the comments and then let me know. I don't know where to start. You and I can begin a conversation and I'll be happy to give you a suggestion. Trust me, ask my husband. I'm full of suggestions. But in all honesty, I want to add value to you and I want to thank you for joining me and for applaud you for being bold enough to say, hey, I'm ready for a change. So if that's you and you don't know what that degree of change needs to be, just that one tiny little degree, let me know. I am offering my time to you, okay? I'm also asking you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you've not subscribed, then go ahead, take a moment now, go to YouTube, Well Done Life - Daphne B. Smith. It's the exact same information as how you found me on Facebook. In fact, I'm going to type it in right now. So if I could learn how to type Well Done Life - Daphne B. Smith. You'll find it on YouTube. And that way, if you can't join me live, you know you can always find it there. And I'll check there too. Maybe you want to type what your degree challenge is there. Wherever you do it, I believe in you. I know you can change if you're really ready. So when the fear of remaining the same is greater than the fear of change, it's going to happen. I know it will. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, live today as a well-done life. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.